Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to make a video to hopefully help other people that were in the same predicament. Situation with water on the footwell of my Ford Focus that really gave me a lot of headaches and took me a while to find. Part of the problem was that we're in the winter, where we were in the winter, and I could not use a hose because I cut all the water outside of the house because it gets pretty cold here. So that was part of the issue why I didn't figure it out earlier, but still a little tricky. After looking at a lot of videos on YouTube's and forums, and I only saw one video about that, so that's why I'm making one to hopefully help other people that might be in the same situation. I might also do another video to go to the process of finding where the source of the leak in a car is, because it's actually the first time it happened to me, and I get cars pretty often. I mean, and it's quite complicated sometimes. So anyway, every time it rains, after it rains, I had the water on the footwell of the car, on the front of the car, here, as well as on the rear as well, but mainly this area. And that's about it, really. There was no water anywhere else, so it was very hard to figure it out. So I went online and I did like everybody else. So I started with the sunroof. I have a sunroof, and I took a water bottle, but a big water bottle, like so, not a small one. And I pulled that water bottle. First thing I did, just like they say online, open the sunroof and then pour it right where the drains are, which on this car there's one drain here, one drain here. And after pouring all of that, no problem, I could see the water pouring down here, and no water in the car after I dried it up. So I was like, okay, so that's not it. Then I closed the sunroof, and again I poured 2 bottles like this all around the sunroof area, stayed in the car, and my son was doing that, and again afterward, no water in the car. So at this point I'm like, okay, well, it's not, obviously it's not from the sunroof. So when you go online, next seems like the windshield was replaced actually about a month prior when it started to leak. So I'm like, okay, they probably didn't reseal the windshield properly. Again, you know, try and error. There are 2 big bottles like that all around the windshield area. Look in the car, no water coming in. Again, those, you know, we did those experiments. It takes a little bit of time. It's not like you do, I mean, it's over a couple of weekends, really. And then in the meantime, every time it rained, like it had to rain like significantly or for a long time. Either a little bit of rain, but for like 4 or 5 hours, or a good drench, and then I would have water all over the footwell. And kind of mind-boggling, because inside the car I could not figure out where the water was coming from. It was all wet here, and then a little bit on the back, but I could not see anything else really locate where it come from. So again, looking online, next step I saw, especially for the Ford Focus, to take that trim off the railing molding. They explain you there's a little clip, so you have to be careful. Each of those things, YouTube is really fantastic, because they explain you how to do it, because it's very easy to break clips or those plastic trims and different things, and they are quite expensive to replace, and if you break them, they are loose, they make noise, so it's quite important. So anyway, took it off. Everything looked clean. There is like a welding seam area underneath, so I took some Permaflex silicone gel and then silicone the whole thing. I also took that trim out here, which I broke the bracket. Even if I read online you have to pull it down, but they're $75 at the dealership, by the way. So again, look at YouTube, because there's a proper way to take those off without breaking the brackets. So I put some Permaflex here, and then under the coil too I put some Permaflex all around the coil of the car in case it was leaking here. And then try the water thing again, no leak in the car. I mean, it was really and again, you know, you have to go to work, you have family and stuff. It's not like you can do that 24/7. You do that whenever you have time in the weekend, basically, and between rains, because especially in the winter. So look online more, and I took the coil off, the wipers off, this trim off, and I was like, it's probably coming from underneath the coil going to either one of the wire, or some people say the steering column, or any of the wire that come to the firewall here to the car. So at this point I decided, you know, I mean, it was wet, it stinked. I decided to just take everything off the footwell, which is again not easy because you cannot remove the carpet and everything. You can pull it a little bit to the side, but if you want to remove it, you have to remove all the seats in order to remove the carpet. So I decided to just, you know, so be it. It's not a new car, but it's a great car. I love it. It works great. So I cut the carpet off, and then I cut the padding off, which is very hard to cut. I guess you need a carpet scissors or something. So I ended up tearing it by hand, little by little. And then I put paper towel to try to see if the water was coming, you know, where. And then I realized after it rained, there was a day where it rained quite a bit, and then I saw water in this area. I was like, okay, so now we know it's coming from around here. And then on the YouTube video and on the forum for Ford Focus, one of the person, actually two person, one on the forum and one on the video, was saying that it comes to this hole here. There's a hole right above where you open the hood, inside the well fender here. You got an area that sometimes is not welded properly, or the compound is not waterproof completely. But to access that, it's quite a little bit complicated, let's put it that way. But it seems to make sense to me, exactly the way that person described it, and the fact that I could see there was a little bit of water coming out. Seems like that hole could have been from that hole here and dripping down. So I decided to tackle that. So to tackle that, you got to have access to it. So you have to take the skirt off. And again, there's videos online, thankfully, to do that. So you take the skirt off, you take the tire off, you take the wheel arch off, and then you take the headlight. You open that bumper, open that trim, and then you can unscrew everything and take this off. And it didn't seem anything special. I mean, I see the area that the person described in detail in his video and stuff, but it kind of made sense at that time because I was I didn't know what to, out of ideas. So again, Permaflex everywhere where that welding was. So from about right here all the way down to about right here on the fender, everything I saw bonding or welding, I just Permaflex it. And then I was like, okay, that's gotta be it. And then sure enough, during the week, rain and then water on the footwell. And then I didn't know what to think at this point. I still thought maybe it was from the inside the engine compartment or the coil, or from the vent. I knew it was from after the rain, and that's a fact. I knew it was not from the AC drain because I didn't use the AC. I knew it was not cooling liquid because it was water, and I know it's rainwater. Every time it rains, I had water coming through here, but I could not locate inside or outside. So I was really out of idea at that time and kind of frustrated quite a bit. So I decided to take as many trim as possible that I could. So all the plastic trim here, and even more trim all of his. Took this out and then took the side out. Now you can already take the headliner out. I mean, you can, but it's quite complicated to take out and come back. At least for me, I'm not very that familiar with that. And then I got lucky, I guess, just because of the timing. Sometime in life, again, like I say, you work, you have family, you don't have time to do that 24/7. But there was one particular weekend, finally, where it was going to rain quite a bit, like a storm, thunderstorm, and all. And I was at home, and I saw it on the forecast. I was like, okay, so now that I have all the trim out, I'm just gonna sit in the car and see what happened, really. So watch YouTube videos, and I realized by doing that finally I could see that the water was coming, dripping here. So it was actually coming from the sunroof down that trim, but it was completely dry. Everything here was dry at all time, but it was going to that trim, which is plastic. So the water was dripping to the plastic here, and then underneath, and then all the way to here. So what was the problem? I only saw one video about that online. Very interesting. That's why I'm making my video. Sorry, it's a little bit long, but I mean, you can't imagine how frustrating it was. And so what happened is, by being in the car, I was able to see that some water comes out of the seal of the sunroof when it rains, like heavy rain for a long time. So that seal here, I mean, that's a 2016. It's in good shape, but it's not perfectly sealed, I guess, and it's not supposed to. A lot of sunroof will have some water come through. That's why they have the drain lines on the side. However, that was a little bit more, I would think, than normal. I'm not sure what's normal. And after a while, that's the trick. At the beginning, nothing happened, but it took a while to see the water dripping. And reading online, I still don't know, I still haven't found exactly the culprit, but it's actually the bracket underneath. There's a bracket underneath the sunroof. So basically, between the headliner and the sunroof, you have a bracket that holds everything in place, and that allows you to slide the cover and allow the sunroof to slide. And that bracket actually has some type of a crack in it, most likely, because then the water goes where it's supposed to go on the drain line, but after a while, it starts to leak underneath that little bracket inside the headliner on that area, and then goes here. So that's what happened. To fix that, it's quite complicated. You will have to take the headliner completely out. You will have to buy a new bracket surrounding that, and then put all of that together, and then you're good to go. A lot of work. So what I decided to do really for now is just shut the sunroof. Really, I use it once in a while, not often. I didn't want it to be too ugly because I like this car. It looks good, it runs good. So I put some some heavy duty transparent taping, which is probably going to leave a mark after a while. And but it's easy to take off and take, and it's perfectly sealed, obviously. When it's sunny, you really cannot see much of that. And it rained twice so far, like for all night, a little bit of drizzling, but all night. And then another time it rained like a lot, and no water whatsoever on the footwell. So obviously that's the culprit. Plus I saw it when it was raining and I was in the car. I saw finally that the water was dripping in from that bracket down. So anyway, long story short, I hope it can help someone if they're in the same predicament. If I had had access to a hose, it's winter here, it was really cold, cut the water off outside the house, obviously. If I had access to water hose, if I had hosed down that sunroof and everything, windshield and everything, I probably would have seen it if I had hosed that sunroof for a while. I'm not sure how long is a while, because again, when it rains, it takes a while for the water to accumulate a little bit in the drain line, and then to go in the that bracket that's around it and to drip from whatever the crack somewhere in the bracket inside. But the line are perfectly fine. Like I said, I put 2 of those bottles. That's the first thing I did inside each corner, and it drained perfectly, really fast, not a problem. So that was not the problem. The problem is there's a crack somewhere there, and it's pretty hard to fix, really, at least with my skills and changing airliner, stuff like that. I don't know how to do that. So for now, that's what's gonna be. I still like that car, but it was quite a big headache. I bought a new seal, so I'm gonna reseal that. It's not that complicated. I looked online, so I'm supposed to get that sometime next week. So if I can seal it really tight enough and there's not that much water coming through, then at least I can use the sunroof and get rid of that duct tape. So I bought a new seal. I will try that, see if it does the trick to seal it a lot better than what it is. You can adjust also I'm pretty familiar now. You can adjust the sunroof height up and down, and by doing so you can adjust a little bit also forward or backward just by tilting the angle, so you can make a little bit tighter the seal here versus here just by changing the angle a little bit of that sunroof. So that's about it. Well, I hope nobody gets in that predicament, but if they do, please watch the video and then at least you will know what it is. But it was I know everything about water leak in the car now. Those cars, the coupe, the hatchback is known to leak from the back, but I knew it was not from the back right away, but the hatchback is new to leak from underneath the headlight or the vent. There's vent behind the bumper for the air to circulate, and it's known for that. But that's a known fact. That's, and it was not coming from the back, and that's for the hatchback, not the sedan. I hope everybody has a good day, and hopefully that will help someone, and that's about it. Have a good one.